Hi, I'm Lorraine. Welcome to the District Yoga. In today's practice, we're going to get an untraditional flow. So we're going to explore our mat and we're going to focus in and around the legs and the hips. So it's going to be a fun one, a playful one, and one that I hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So come on to all fours. Let the knees open up as wide as you'd like. Let the toes come to touch behind you. Let the forehead draw down. Arms are going to reach forward, and you're just going to stay here for a few moments just to allow yourself to check in. Just giving yourself some space to be here and arrive on your mat. Noticing the connection of your body against your mat or the earth underneath you. And just starting to settle in here. Maybe starting to notice the breath as you inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. Just stay with this breath. Stay noticing the breath, being aware of how you're breathing. Maybe listening to the depth, listening to the fluidity of the breath as you inhale. And you gently transition to that exhale. When you're ready, we're going to reach our arms forward. If not already, we're going to shift into a tabletop position. Go ahead and find those wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. And from here, just take a couple cat-cows. We'll get into the spine a little bit, just waking it up, dropping the belly. Exhale, we'll dome and round through the back, tucking that chin. Find a couple at your own pace, at your own rhythm. Just gently waking up our bodies as we prepare for movement. Again, it's going to be not your traditional vinyasa flow. We'll touch some traditional shapes, but we're going to take the down dog out of this flow, so we actually will not see any down dogs today. Last round, wherever you are, tucking that chin, rounding the back. Once you're done, come back to a long neutral spine, and once you're ready, right leg's going to lift up and back, so find that length through that right leg. Once you find that stability, left arm's going to reach forward. Find a sunbird pose, spinal balance. Find getting a little bit of long through those limbs, and just breathing as you really press into that bottom hand. Take a few more breaths in. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, go and set that down. Wiggle the hips out side to side. Just breathing as we just start to activate through our body. Lengthen back through that left leg this time. Once you're ready there, right arm's going to reach forward. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Creating some strength, a little bit of heat in your body to start out. Checking into the body, checking into that bottom arm, checking into the core, and even to the length in the limbs. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Last couple breaths. On an inhale, get a little bit longer. Exhale, set it down. Wiggle those hips side to side. And then from here, this tabletop position, we're going to lengthen back through that right leg again. This time, we're going to step the right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. The left hand's going to stay low. Right arm will start to swim up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And we find a nice gentle twist, a little dragonfly twist to start out. Again, you could drop the hips low or you could back off, depending how the body felt. Checking in. Finding this twist for 3. Beautiful for 2. So here we touch not only into the hips, but also a little bit into the spine. And even that front right hip as well. Breathe in as you open. Right hand's going to come low as you do shift the hips back. Find a half front split. This time, bringing the focus to the back of that right leg. You could point or flex through the toes. You decide. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Last 3. Last 2. Just warming up our body. No rush. Last 1. When you're ready, go ahead and rebend that front knee. The right hand's going to come to the outside of that right foot, this time opening to the opposite side, left arm up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Might feel a little awkward. That's okay. We're really compressing into that right hip this time to open towards the left side. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then just feel this in your body. Notice it. Notice how you arrive. Notice it might not be your deepest depth here. That's okay. If you ever need any blocks underneath the hands, those are always welcome. On an inhale, open up. Exhale, left hand down, straighten that front right leg. Again, find that half split one more time. Take your last few breaths. Beautiful. For 3. Last 2. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and rebend that front knee. Plant the hands. We're going to tuck the back toes and just come back to that tabletop position. Just maybe start to notice the differences from one side to the other. Take a couple breaths. Just a nice gentle tabletop before we switch sides. On the inhale, your left leg's going to draw long behind you. We'll switch it out. Step that left foot forward. Again, right hand will stay low. Left arm will find a twist. So again, we come to twist to that left side, but this time we're adding again in that spine, getting into that right hip flexor this time, and we're just going to breathe in and out of that nose. Checking in. Just breathing into this side. It might feel different than the opposite side did. Notice that. Maybe one side tighter than the other. Maybe one side looser than the other. Just be aware. Finding your last few breaths in this dragonfly twist. Beautiful. If you're with me, take one more inhale to open. Left hand's going to come down low. Start to straighten that front left leg this time. We find a half front split. On the opposite side, again, stay here. Just notice that sensation behind that left leg. Again, you could point or flex through the toes. You could have blocks. There's lots of different options here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. If you're with me, we're going to take 3 more rounds of breath. Lots of length through the crown of the head. Notice I get long through the spine. It's not necessarily about how far can I meet that knee, but how long can I get that back of that left leg? How long can I get my spine? When you're ready, rebend that front left knee. Plant the left hand to the outside edge. Right arm will swim up towards the sky, and we open towards the opposite side. Breathe here. Beautiful. Stay with it. In and out of that nose. So again, today we're not going to get a down dog, but we will touch a couple vinyasas. So be ready for those. We're just going to transition, as opposed to going to down dog in a vinyasa, we're going to transition to table and then child's pose, or extended child's pose, for that transition as you breathe out. We'll get to that here shortly. Take one more inhale. Right hand comes down low, straighten that front left leg again. Breathe here. Check in. Just gently saying hello to the bottom body. On an inhale, lengthen out. On an exhale, stay there. Last couple breaths. If you're with me, go ahead and rebend that front left knee, plant the hands, and then just shift that left knee back. We'll come to that tabletop again. In fact, we're going to start to tuck the toes and lift the knees up, coming into our first variation of a vinyasa. Remember, we're not going to down dog though. So from your plank pose, you could again have the knees drop down. If that was more appropriate, take an inhale. On the exhale, lower all the way down, elbows graze the ribs. On the inhale, hands are where right underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and lift the chest, lift the heart. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, just lower back down. We're going to get a couple more like that. So if you're with me, go ahead and lift up into your cobra as you inhale. Exhale, lower back down, forehead to mat. One more like that. On an inhale, lift the chest, lift the heart. Exhale, lower back down. We're going to come to tabletop position and just shift back to a child's pose, just like where you were when you started. Take 3 rounds of breath. So if we do add in a vinyasa, that's going to be it. Not every round will have a vinyasa, but if you do, again, no down dog today. Just feel this experience, this exploration today. And let's just get back to movement. Take one more inhale in child's pose. Exhale out there. Arms reaching forward. Come to that tabletop again. Inhale, the right leg's going to lift long. Exhale, step that right foot forward. Left hand down, right arm up as you inhale. Right hand down, shift the hips back. Exhale for that half split. Rebend that front knee. Right hand to the outside. Left arm lifts up. Plant that left hand down, shift the hips back, half front split. This time we're going to add on just a little. Rebend that front right knee, tuck the back left toe, zip that back knee up. Arms are going to come down the ribs. Feel that right foot really pressing into the earth. Feel the activation through the core. So we're using those legs, the inner thighs really squeeze towards each other. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Beautiful. Yes, I can. On the inhale, go ahead and lift up to crescent lunge. Breathe in. Settle back into that front left knee. And then just check in. Check into how the body feels. Check into how this crescent lunge feels. It's still early, so notice where you are. Arms reaching, shoulders down and away from the ears. Last couple breaths. Beautiful. On an inhale, reach it up tall. On the exhale, hands are going to come down low. Just step back to plank pose and set the knees down. Tabletop position. Again, not going to have a vinyasa every time. Let's just switch that out. Left leg lifts low. Step the left foot forward. Right hand stays. Dragonfly twist. Left hand down. Shift the hips back. Half split. Rebend that front knee. Left hand stays. Right arm lifts this time. Plant it down, shift it back, half front split. Rebend the knee, tuck the back toes. Here's that change. Inner thighs squeeze in towards each other. Arms sweep down the ribs. Find that lightning crescent. Noticing all 4 corners of that left foot really rooting down. Breathe it here. In and out of that nose. Last couple rounds. Using those inner thighs, using that belly. Spine really long. Take one more inhale. Let's reach up to crescent lunge. Then just settle in here. Check into your crescent. How does this feel? Just breathing strong and steady. Notice the body getting warm right away, even though we're not necessarily getting any traditional warm-up A's or warm-up B's. This is going to just be a kind of long flow today. We're just going to keep adding on. So lift up one more time, crescent. Plant the hands down. And then again, step back to plank pose. This time we will get a vinyasa, lower down slow. On the inhale, lift the chest, the heart. Remember this. Tabletop position as you breathe out. Shift it back. Child's pose. We'll stay here. One huge breath in. Massive breath out. Shift forward to that tabletop again, keeping it moving. Right leg long. Step that foot forward. Left hand stays. Dragon twist. Right hand down. Half front split. Rebend that knee, right hand low, left arm lifts. Plant it down, shift it back, half split. Rebend that knee, tuck the back toes. Remember, we're picking up the pace. Exhale the arms back down the ribs. Inhale to lift up to crescent lunge. Here's the addition. We're going to stand up. Lift that left knee into the chest, hands to the heart space. Find a little balance. Use your breath. Settle right in. If you're with me, arms sweep up towards the sky. Exhale, set that foot down. Hands come to the heart space, top of the mat. Take a few rounds of breath. Just feel the energy of the heart. Breathe it steady. On the inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, forward fold. Dive into those legs. Find your first fold. You could have bent knees. Find a half flat back, maybe hands to shins. Exhale, just fold back in. We're going to step the right foot back, drop the back right knee, and we switch sides here. Right hand low, left arm up. Plant that left hand down, shift the hips back, half front split. Rebend that knee, left hand low, right arm lifts. Right hand down, shift it back, half hamuna. Rebend the knee, we'll tuck the back toe, zip that back knee up. Arms down the ribs, lightening. Inhale for crescent lunge. Remember, here's the addition. We're going to shift the weight into that left foot. Hands come to the heart as the knee comes into the chest. Use that belly. Breathe it here. Settle in. Last 3. For 2. And 1. Set that right foot down. Reach it up. Hands to the heart space. 3 rounds of breath. Just checking back in. Beautiful. Beautiful. Feel that energy of the heart one last time. Breathe it out there. Inhale, reach it up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Dive back in. Half lift, big breath in. This time, plant the hands. Step back to that plank pose. Remember our modified vinyasa as you lower slow. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to tabletop position, then back to that child's pose. Stay for a breath in. Stay for a breath out. When you're ready, tabletop again. Again, just continuing on. Right leg long. Step that foot forward. Right arm up. Right hand down. Shift it back. Ardha Hamuna. Rebend that knee. We'll open to the opposite side. Left hand down, finding that stretch in the right leg. Rebend here, tuck the back toes, zip everything in line as you send the arms back. Inhale, come to crescent. On the exhale, stand up, knee into the chest. Here's where we're going to change just a little. On the inhale, arms are going to lift up. On the exhale, send that left foot back, coming back to crescent lunge and settling in. We're going to add a couple shapes this time, so breathe, breathe, breathe. On the inhale, lift it up. Exhale for warrior 2, back foot flat, hips open towards the side of our space now. Front knee nice and bent right over that front right ankle. Settle in, first time today. Just breathe. Nice continuous flow today. Take one more inhale. Stay for the exhale. We're going to straighten that front right leg. As you do, turn the left toes to the left corner and start to place a bend through that left knee, lowering the hips down. In fact, maybe lowering the hands down as you come into Skandasana towards the back of our mat. Long through that right leg. Tall through the spine, and then just breathing here, really feeling that along that inner right groin. Check in. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Beautiful. From here, take one more big breath in. If not already, hands down low to the mat. We're going to crawl towards the back of our mat, pivot on the ball of the back toes. You could scoot the left foot to a little bit towards the outer edge of your mat, finding that back knee, dropping it down, low lunge. Notice we're switching sides. Right hand stays, left arm lifts up. Inhale. Plant that down, shift it back, half hamunan. Rebend the knee, left hand stays open towards the right. Plant it down, shift it back, straighten that left leg. Rebend it here, tuck the back toe, zip the back knee up, lightning crescent, arms down the ribs, lift it up, crescent lunge, big inhale. Right away, stand up, lift that knee into the chest. Again, here's that change. Arms reach up first. Send that right leg back, coming back to crescent lunge and breathing strong and steady here. Settling in, we're going to add those couple shapes. Inhale to reach up. Exhale for warrior two, open out. Stay here, strong and steady. Checking into that alignment, front heel in line with that back middle arch. Shoulders down and away as you reach long to the front and backs of your mat. Gaze steady over that front middle finger, just settle in. Breath is on fire, right? Keep checking in. Keep breathing. Last few rounds here. If you're with me, go ahead and straighten that front left leg. As you do, right toes turn to the corner of your mat. There's a slight turning for me of my left toes as well. Bending through that right knee, hands either to the heart as you lower the hips, or hands to your mat. Find that Skandasana to the opposite side. Strong and steady, feel the length to that left leg. Noticing where you are, noticing the legs. We're definitely touching into that lower body. Breathe into that. Our lower body so strong, so resilient. Keeps us walking through life. Last few breaths. Beautiful. If you're with me, take one more huge inhale. Breathe into that left leg. Stay there, breathe out, let that go. Crawl towards the front of your mat, pivot on the ball of the back toes. This time, step back to that plank and lower through your modified vinyasa. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tabletop position. Shift it back, child's pose. Huge breath in, massive breath out. We're going to add onto all of that. So if you're with me, shift forward, tabletop position. We're just going to switch legs. So left leg's going to start first. Step that foot forward, right hand low, left arm up. Plant that down, shift the hips back, half split. Rebend that knee, left hand low, right arm up. Set that down, shift it back. Rebend, we'll tuck the back toes, zip the back knee up, arms down the ribs, and then lift it up, crescent lunge. Stand up, lift that knee into the chest, hands to the heart. Inhale, rise the arms first. Exhale, we send that right leg back, crescent on the inhale. Warrior two as you exhale. Straighten that left leg, right toes turn, lower the hips. We come to Skandasana, hands lower, hands to the heart. Take 3 rounds of breath here. In and out of that nose. Checking in. Beautiful. On the inhale, stay here. If not already, hands to your mat. We're going to crawl towards the back of our mat. Drop that back knee. Left hand will stay. Right arm will grow. Plant that right hand down. Shift it back. We just switch sides. Rebend that knee. Right hand stays. Left arm lifts. Plant it down. Tuck the back. Oh, shift the hips back. Find the half split first. Almost forgot it. Rebend the knee. Tuck the back toe. Zip the back knee this time. Arms down the ribs as you breathe out. Inhale, lift up to crescent lunge.
Exhale for warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Ooh, I think I forgot something. We're going to come to Skandasana and then we'll go to the top of our mat. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Actually, I think I'm right. We're going to keep flowing with this. Skandasana for 3. Yes, for 2. Last one, hands low to the mat, pivot towards the front of the mat. Step that foot back, plank as you lower slow. Inhale, find your heart opener. Exhale to tabletop position and then child's pose. Stay here. We have one last round and really that's going to be it for today. Long continuous flow. Notice your breath. Notice maybe any shifts that have happened since your first child's pose. Sometimes we just need to get out of our heads and into our bodies, continuously moving, continuously breathing, of course. Last few rounds here, just settling in, folding into yourself, folding into the earth. Again, we just have one last round and then we'll make our way to our cool down from this class. One last little bit, a few shapes to add on. If not already, reach the arms forward. Shift it forward into tabletop position. And then we're going to get that round and add a few shapes on. So if you're with me, tabletop position, right leg long on the inhale. Step that foot forward, left hand low, right arm up. Plant it down, shift the hips back, half split. Rebend the knee, we'll twist to the opposite side. Left hand down, shift it back, half split here. Rebend it, tuck the back toes, zip it up as you sweep the arms back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, stand up, knee into the chest. Yes, I can. Inhale, the arms lift up. Send that leg back, come into that crescent lunge. Exhale for warrior two. Straighten that front right leg, turn the toes and come into Skandasana towards the back of your mat. Hands could be low. Take a huge breath in. Massive breath out. We're going to crawl towards that left foot, pivot on the ball of the back toes. Here's where we add on. Keeping the hands low, just drop the hips, send the gaze forward. As you exhale, straighten that front left leg. Doesn't have to go completely straight. In fact, I want you to explore maybe a little bend in that left knee. Finding some stretch through that left hamstring. Stay here for 3. Hands are still low. Again, if you needed the blocks, you could find them. Last 2. Last 1. We're going to do that a couple more times. So staying on the ball of the back toes, rebend the knee, drop the hips as you send the gaze up. Straighten that front leg, shift it back. One more like that. Drop the hips, gaze up. Straighten that front leg, hamstring finds a stretch. Rebend it here. Plant the hands. We'll step back and lower through a vinyasa here. Inhale to lift the chest. Tabletop position as you exhale. Coming back to child's pose. Stay there. Big breath in. Massive breath out. Coming back to tabletop again. We'll switch it out. Left leg long. Step it through, right hand low, left arm up. Plant it down, shift it back, half Hanuman. Rebend it, we twist towards the opposite side. Plant it down, half front split. Rebend it, tuck the back toes, zip it in line, arms down the ribs. Inhale, come to crescent. Stand up, knee into the chest, yes. Inhale, the arms float up. Exhale, send that leg back. Crescent breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Yes. Straighten that left leg. Turn the right toes. Lower down to your Skandasana. Finding your position that feels right. Again, we're on our last variation of this, so breathe, breathe, breathe. Settling in. Last few breaths, Skandasana on this side. Here's where you're going to add on again. Crawl towards the right toes. Pivot on the ball of the back toes. Hands stay low or to some blocks. Lower the hips down and start to send the heart forward. Straighten that front right leg. Fold in towards that leg. And just stay here. Again, explore if you need a deep bend in that right knee. If you need a small one, your right leg most likely won't go completely straight, depending on your hamstrings. Keep breathing. Yes, I can. Here we go. We're going to get 2 more like that. Hands are going to stay low. Rebend the knee. Drop the hips. Straighten that leg. Shift it back. Rebend again. Drop the hips. Straighten that leg. Send it back. Rebend it here. This time we're going to step forward, top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, let's stand up, reaching up tall. Bring the hands to the heart space as you just settle back in. One little touch for balance as we close out this class. Go ahead and shift the weight into the left foot to start out. We're going to take the right knee and bend it. Right hand's going to lower down and catch the outside of that right foot to right ankle. You decide what the left hand does. You can either reach it up or you can keep it at the heart space. Breathe here. We're coming into dancer. So if you're with me, take an inhale. Start to lean forward, start to press that foot into the hand, creating a little bit of resistance there. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Find your variation, your depth for 5. If you fall, come back to meet us, no problem. 4. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't have to look like mine. Heck, it doesn't even have to look like yours did yesterday if you did this pose. Last 2. Last one, inhale. Slowly lower back down that right foot, hands back to the heart space. Keep breathing. And we just have that on the other side. So if you're with me, go ahead and plant through the right foot this time. Left knee's going to bend. We're going to reach down and catch that left ankle, left foot. Right arm can fly up or be at the heart space. Settle in on an inhale. Breathe out. If you're with me, go ahead and press the foot into the hand, maybe a slight lean forward of the upper body. Press it into the hand. Yes, feel that activation, a little stretch through that quadricep. Yes, I can. Just checking in. Beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Take one more inhale. Stay there. Breathe it out. Slow, slow, slow. We're going to lower that left leg back, coming back out of this. Hands back to the heart. Last modified vinyasa today. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Dive back in. Half lift. Go ahead and plant the hands down. Find your variation of a modified vinyasa. Inhale. Tabletop position as you shift it back. Child's pose. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Beautiful. If you're with me, we're going to shift forward to a tabletop position. And then scoot the legs off to the side. We're going to come into a wide-legged straddle here. So turn off to one side of your mat.
Let the feet come to the corners of your mat or whatever degree they naturally fall. And just find a place that feels appropriate. We're going to stay here and breathe for a few minutes. So if you're okay upright, you could stay here. If you want a little bit more, you could crawl the arms and hands forward, and this could be it. If you had a few blocks nearby, you could absolutely bring the earth up to meet you and set the forearms on the blocks. Otherwise, just stay where it feels appropriate. And then if you want or have the range of motion, maybe down to the forearms, just find something that feels good. We're going to stay here for a few minutes, so no rush to be any place, no need to jam into this shape. Just breathe. Now just allowing the mind to settle. So definitely a lot of physical movement today, but also it took a little bit of brain coordination, right? Continuing the additions and keeping the body moving, exploring the front and backs of your mat. Definitely takes a little brain power there. And if you're the teacher, remembering the flow also becomes a little bit more brain power. Just settle in. Just allow the brain to not worry about what's next. Maybe let the head hang super heavy. Relaxing through the shoulders. Unclenching the jaw. And just allowing yourself to melt in. Maybe finding some additional depth. Coming up on your last few breaths here. Last 5. If you did come down to your forearms, take one more big breath there. Stay there, breathe out. Slowly lifting the upper body up, climbing the hands towards that groin. Go and place a bend through either knee and just send that leg that you bent to meet the opposite. We're going to come on to our backs. Go and hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself maybe a little rock side to side. Go ahead and plant the feet down about hips width. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So palms are going to come down to the mat. Feet are about hips width. When you're ready, go ahead and press into the feet. Lift the hips up. Find your variation of bridge pose. Doesn't have to be your deepest, especially coming out of that last shape. Our inner thighs definitely got a bit of a stretch, so they're likely a little fatigued here. Last 3. And last 2. Take one more breath. Lower it back down. Hug the knees in again. And then from here, we're just going to give ourselves one last hug, one last squeeze, maybe into a little ball, squeezing the fingers, the toes, taking a massive breath in. Exhale, let that go. Extend those legs out long. Let the arms fall down the side body. And just come into your Shavasana. Letting the lower body feel all the work just start to dissipate. Maybe noticing some strength in the lower legs. See if you can give yourself permission to rest, permission to be soft through the lower body. Go ahead and take a big inhale through the nose. Let it go out the mouth. Gently blink the eyes open. Maybe bring some awareness to the fingers and the toes. Go ahead and take a full body stretch. Arms reach up and overhead. Legs reach long. When you're ready, go ahead and roll off to your favorite side. And only when you're ready, go ahead and press your way up to a comfortable seat. We will say that that is the official end. I hope you leave feeling a little more light and free. Namaste.